Hi everyone, it is the weekend, and if you watched yesterday's video you'll know that I'm dedicating this weekend to doing some questions and answers. So a lot of you are sending me in questions via Twitter, and I've also got a couple of donation requests and questions via the use of Amazon gift vouchers. Now I will be doing another Q&A session, and I'll leave some links in the video description to how you can do donation requests and also how you can actually ask me questions via Twitter. So before I start the questions, I've got no internet. The internet is down, so it's not working on the Mac behind me. It's not working on the iPad on my desk here. And I am actually going to be reading questions on my iPhone, courtesy of my mobile network connection, which is the only thing that's working at the moment. Now, the very first question I've got comes by way of donation from Amazon, but the person hasn't given me their name. It's a £20 donation. All I've got is your email address, and I don't want to read that out over the sort of internet because you might want that kept private. So I will send you an email, and if you get back to me with your name or perhaps a YouTube channel or a Twitter, I'll give you a shout out in the next video. So thanks very much for the donation. It's really appreciated. And the question is, how do you manage your time for doing all the things you do online, including your YouTube videos, Twitter, emails, etc.? Is a really good question. Now, I have covered this in a time management video, and I've also got a video coming out in about a week's time about how I manage my email inbox. But how I manage my time generally is just to give myself enough tasks for the given day. So if I've got a day where I'm going to be doing YouTube recording and I want to get maybe 3 or 4 videos recorded, then I dedicate my time to that so that I can get that task completed. I don't sort of switch between too many tasks at the same time. I find, especially with emails and social networking, if I keep diving in and out of different platforms and different things to do, I never get one task done properly. So I always just sort of concentrate on sort of one thing at a time, really. Obviously I do a bit of multitasking, but I think one of the biggest distractions nowadays is like Twitter and email. So I give myself specific times of the day when I will go through sort of my emails, for example. So brilliant question. Thank you very much for that. Now I've got a question here, Holly Hunter. What type of video editor do you use to edit your YouTube videos? Well, I use Final Cut Pro on the Mac, the latest version. Then I've got a couple of questions here from iDroid Arena. The first one is, what do you feel about the LG G Flex and its curved displays? And how do you feel about phablets like the Sony Xperia Z Ultra? Well, first of all, the LG G Flex, I think the curved displays are a gimmick, so I'm not really sold on that. And regarding the phablets like the Sony Xperia Z Ultra, they're good, but some can be too big. And I prefer a device I can hold in one hand. I would like a little bit bigger display. I'm using an iPhone 5S. I would like a bigger display on this, but not as big as a phablet device. And then iDroid Arena also asks, MacBook Pro, MacBook Air, Sony Vaio Pro, Duo 13 or Samsung AtiveBook 9 Plus. I need a laptop for $1,000 and cannot decide. Well, you need to quantify your question because you haven't let me know what you're going to be using it for. If you're going to be using it for a lot of video editing, then I would say the MacBook Pro. If you're going to be using it for a tiny bit of video editing and a lot of email and web surfing and you want something ultra portable, then I would say the MacBook Air. But if you're a Windows user, then I would say one of your other ones. So let me know what you're going to be using it for, and I'll try and answer that in another video. And then I've also got a question here from Jordan Luke. I've got an iPhone 4 Black. Would you suggest waiting to pick up an S5 Google Edition or just get a normal one with skin? Well, I'm assuming you're referring to the Samsung Galaxy S5. That's the only thing I can think you're referring to, which may well be announced at Mobile World Congress. And I would say really it depends on whether you need the smartphone now. A lot of people ask whether they should wait for a device. I would never wait for a device. If I need a particular device, if I've got a need for a smartphone, I would buy the best that's on the market now, because otherwise you're in danger of continually waiting for the next new one to come out. But saying you're not in a hurry perhaps, let's assume that you can wait for a new phone to come out at Mobile World Congress. Well, I would wait and see what the features are, and if you're okay with an Android based device, then the S5 will be a very good choice. So possibly wait. Whether you want the Google edition or just the normal one, depends whether you like TouchWiz or not. For me personally, I'd probably go for a Google edition smartphone. And then I've also got a question here from Michael Crilly. What advice do you have for beginners to get more of an audience on YouTube? Well, the main thing I can sort of say to you is to really upload videos on a regular schedule and also communicate with your audience. And what I mean by regular schedule, if you're in the privileged position like me, where you've got the time to dedicate to YouTube and actually upload a video every day, then upload a new video every day. But if you're perhaps doing YouTube part-time and you've only got time to make, say, 2 videos a week, then upload those on the same day and roughly the same time every week. And then your audience will get to know when you're uploading a new video. And I think that'll help you a lot in growing your audience. So I've got a £5 donation and question coming from Daniel from the YouTube channel Live Tech Australia. So that's youtube.com/Live Tech Australia. So please do give that channel a check out. Now, the question's quite long, so I'm going to summarise. Basically, Daniel says he creates videos about consumer electronics, report from press events, give my opinion on products, and even have first look videos. I pride myself in trying to respond to 99.9% of comments, which is a good thing, because I cherish the audience interaction and know how frustrating it can be when they're left without a response. Exactly like I feel as well. So here we go. On to the sort of question. The question is, how do I utilise the contacts that I have from tech companies to monetise my channel when they tend to favour sites like Gizmodo and CNET? When it comes to review units and CES coverage, I feel that they need to understand that YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world, and that most of the eyeballs, so to speak, are over there. So sorry if I hashed up that last bit of the question, but it's very true. When you're dealing with tech companies, I do agree they do tend to favour these bigger sort of networks like CNET, like Gizmodo, the ones that you've named, and others. And it does seem very, very hard to sort of break through that mould. And my advice would really be is to continue building your channel and continue to keep in contact with these companies. So don't badger them every single day for a review product, but just maybe if you request a product and they decline, then sort of say to them in the email, I'll keep in touch and let you know how the channel is progressing in the future. And then you can contact them again in a couple of weeks or a month and let them know you've got X number more views and you're still really keen to work with them. And I think if you do ever meet them in person or manage to just break through that sort of barrier, that you're not just somebody who's constantly emailing and just wanting product, you're actually wanting to do coverage of their products, then eventually they will respond and they will start working with you because they know that you're going to give them some really worthwhile coverage and some sort of prospective future customers for their products as well. So the real advice is don't give up, just be patient, be polite. Also take into account that they work with these larger networks purely because they're pulling in a lot of views and a lot of traffic on their websites, and they don't often see the value of a smaller but more dedicated community on a YouTube channel. So that's something for them to really look at, and it's their loss until they realise that. But a lot of companies are coming round. They are coming round to understand that these communities that we build within YouTube are really effective, and the people who are watching the videos really do respond well to having somebody talk about a product and to tell them whether it works or not. You know, maybe these companies you're contacting don't want you to do your style of video. Maybe they're scared of your honesty, perhaps. I don't know. I haven't watched your videos at the moment, but I definitely will. And like I said at the beginning of your question, Live Tech Australia, it's definitely a channel that I will take a look at in a short while. So brilliant question. Thank you very much, Daniel, and thank you for your donation. Now I'll move on to a couple of other questions I had come in via Twitter. Actually, it was just one. So I've got another one here, which is from Daniel. What is the best way to get started on YouTube for vlogs? Would my phone be good enough? A Nexus 4. Well, my advice to you is that yes, whatever camera you've got, be it a compact camera, a professional sort of full-size camera, a camcorder, or indeed your smartphone, pick it up and just start recording and have fun making those videos. If you keep on thinking, should I start, shan't I start, you never will. So just pick up the camera and have fun creating the vlogs. And I'm sure that your phone, you say a Nexus 4, is plenty good enough for doing your sort of personal videos on YouTube. So I'm up in the editing room now, and I thought I'd answer a few more of the questions and then also do some shout outs. And now the next question comes from Ahmed, and he asks, where do you buy the devices from? And I assume you're referring to the review products. Well, I don't actually buy them. It's the sort of manufacturers or their PR companies that are representing the manufacturers, and they actually send the devices to me, normally on a sort of a 2-week to 4-week loan period, and then I do the test and the review or the unboxing, and then more often than not they go back. Some of the cases and bits and pieces don't go back, but things like mobile phones, for example, where Nokia loaned me a mobile phone, that goes back after a 2-week loan period. So great question, I really do appreciate that one. And then the next one is, let me just flick through these because they're not all questions, some are just comments. The Red Tech 98 is asking, can I do a full review on the Sony A58? I'm afraid I won't be covering that one on the channel. And let's go back to do some of the shout outs, because I've got a lot of shout outs to do. So this first one, £20 donation from Darren. Thank you very, very much, Darren Strazek. You are just brilliant. I really do appreciate all of your support. Now, Darren comments on pretty much all of the videos that I publish. He's an active member of the Geekanoids community, and I really do appreciate the £20 donation. Dark1234 sent me £1 donation. No shout out required. He's just saying, I know it's only £1, but I don't work. That's absolutely fine. I really do appreciate any amount, no matter how big or how small. I really do appreciate the donation. And then I've got another £1 donation, this time from Harvey Morton. And Harvey is asking for a shout out. He says, I now offer a premium tutorial service through my website where users can pay just £4, and I will post a personalised video teaching them how to do anything on their iPad, tablet or smartphone. The link is here. I think the easiest way to show you this one is to show you the URL on your screen, and it's harveymortonitsupport.com, followed by the rest of that URL. So that service from Harvey Morton sounds really good actually. Basically it sounds like you've got a problem with your tablet or smartphone, or you need something explaining, and Harvey will make you a custom tutorial video on your problem. Really great idea. So next up we've got another donation, this time £5 from, oh wow, this is from Jussie Hay. Oh, that is really kind of you, Jussie. Now, just to let you know, Jussie was the winner of the Christmas Day, the Day 25 Christmas Advent giveaway. So Jussie won all of the prizes, and it says, hi Dave, here's a little donation from me. I wish it could be more, especially considering all the wonderful things I won in your competition. That is really, you needn't have done that. That is very, very kind of you. Thank you very much. Jussie's website for a shout out is geeknado.com. So that's geeknado.com. Well worth checking out, and just a big, big thank you. I really didn't expect that. That is really, really kind of you. Hi everyone, it is Sunday morning now, and before I continue with the Q&A, I wanted to just give you an update about yesterday. So yesterday was a really rainy day. It was like very, very dark all day. And today we've at least got a little bit of sunshine. The other update I wanted to give you was, I mentioned a few days back about doing some DIY because we had some water coming in one of the windows in the house, or above one of the windows. And I got some of this sort of paint for sealing at sort of external walls, and I painted the section above the window, and fingers crossed it seems to have done the trick, because we've since had quite a lot of rain again and we didn't get any water coming through. So fingers crossed that has actually worked. But anyway, we'll continue today with some more questions and answers. And the very first one is another donation. So I must say a very, very big thank you to Sam Johnson, who's donated £1 and asked, I have some shows and videos on iTunes that I and my family watch using Apple TV, 3rd gen. The problem is that I have to leave the Mac on. Very, very true. I have heard that some NAS drives have iTunes servers built in for music. Do you know any support for sending out video as well? I'm going to admit I've never used iTunes to manage my movies. So streaming movies from iTunes, I don't know if the NASes support that. But what I normally do is I use a NAS device from Synology, or one from QNAP would work probably just as well. And I store my movies in a media folder on the NAS drive, and then I actually stream from there. So that's what I suggest you do, and thank you very, very much for your donation. It's really appreciated. And then we move on to some questions via Twitter, and I've got one here from Harvey Morton again. What case do you use on your iPad Air? Well, I use a Nomo folio case. It's a leather case, and I absolutely love it. Very, very good range of cases. You pay a little bit more from Nomo, but you really do get good quality. Then I've got one from Corey Nicholson. What was your first ever video about? Well, that was a Griffin Disco case back in 2006, believe it or not. And it was for the iPad Video. I think it was that particular model. And it was a case that practically covered the whole of the iPod apart from the click wheel and the screen. And around the click wheel you had these little sort of lights that lit up. Really cool case. And then I've got a question from Chris Gawley. How do you upload your videos when you're on holiday or taking a break? Is there an automatic queuing type system? Well, yes, there is. On YouTube, when you upload a video, you can either set it to private, you can set it to unlisted, you can set it to public, or you can set it to scheduled. And if you choose the scheduled option, you get to choose the date and time that it actually becomes a public video. So when I go on holiday, normally I queue up 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 videos, depending on how long I'm going on holiday, and then they're scheduled for while I'm taking my break. Now, I do also schedule videos sometimes. For example, today I'm recording this on Sunday. Well, my video for tomorrow is already recorded, edited, uploaded and scheduled for Monday. So some of my videos are scheduled throughout the week, even when I'm not on holiday. But if a new product comes in, then that sort of jumps the queue and you get a bonus video some days. Or sometimes I switch the scheduling around so that you get the sort of the latest product first, and then the other one just sort of comes in after that. So it's a very good system. When that YouTube first rolled out scheduling, it didn't work very well, so I stopped using it. Sometimes I'd set a video to scheduled and it would go public straight away, which was really frustrating. But as time went on, they sorted out the scheduling and now it seems to work absolutely fine. Brilliant question. So that's it for this weekend Q&A. It's been great fun actually. I thought it worked really well. I hope you enjoyed it as well. Thank you for all of your donations, all of your questions as well. I'm actually so pleased with how this has gone over the weekend, and I love answering your questions, that I'm going to do exactly the same next weekend. So I'm going to leave a link in the video description for how you can do donation requests, and also details of how you can actually ask me questions on Twitter as well. So I hope you've all had a fantastic weekend. For me now, it's Sunday evening, so I'm going to cook some dinner for the family, and then we're going to sit down to a nice family meal, and then probably just relax for the evening with a little bit of television. I'll see you all again in the next video. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you'd like to watch another amazing video from me, please do click that top box. And if you want to subscribe to my geeky channel, click the red box on the bottom of your screen now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.